What's up, YouTube? This is not a dribble tutorial, but 5 dribbling tips to get you out of the 2K24 mentality and make you more effective right here from day one. Okay, so dribbling tip number 1 is, and this is the most important one out of everything, is to learn how to use the left stick. The left stick is brand new. There are many animations that were only on the right stick and required turbo last year that are on the left stick now. And the other thing that's super important is when you are moving around with the left stick, before you hit top speed, it is very easy to get to a quick stop, as the comp players would call it, which is basically you set your feet very quickly and you immediately go into a jumper, right? So you can see there he stops on a dime. That is not something that was available in previous years of 2K without doing some kind of wild cancel, but now you can literally just pull back on the stick and get to a very fast stop off of whatever move you're doing. And then the last tip, we're going to talk about why that's so important. Okay, so tip number 2, and this is a huge one. The explosive behind the backs are still in the game, but you have to do a combo to get into them. So this is me doing last year's explosive behind the back. You see, not very explosive at all. But if I combo first, he does that, right? That's the explosive behind the back after a combo move. Much more effective, much more space created. This is also, and this is like tip 2B, I guess. This is also true for your attacking dribbles, right? Your attacking cross, you see that launch? If I just do that, he doesn't launch. But if I combo into it, he's going to launch, right? So that's, tip number 2. Tip number 3, your go-to shots can be done, and your aggressive dribbles can be done out of the triple threat. So out of the triple threat, you can go right to your aggressive dribble. And you can also, out of the triple threat, go into your go-to shot. So this combines into kind of a new tip, which is if a player doesn't have a go-to shot equipped, then their aggressive dribble goes into a jump shot if you just simply hold it. And their aggressive dribble defaults down into their go-to shot. So what this means is, say a character like Jalen Brunson, who has a fantastic aggressive dribble, which means he also has a fantastic go-to shot. But what makes that special is everything is it's like cancelable, right? He can cancel at any point, and it has a launch built into it as well. So now I'm in my career right now just so I can show you guys. I wanted to show you all the Darius Garland. I don't have access to a Darius Garland card because it's very visually different to see that behind the back. But as we get cards, this is something we're going to be testing for, is what is their aggressive dribble, what is their go-to shot, and is it the same thing, right? So you can do that. You can launch out of that no matter what. But if you have 2 different moves, one move is an aggressive dribble and one move is a go-to shot, then you have options, right? And you have to be very cognizant of which options you're using. If they're the same move, it's a different set of options because now you're saying, which one am I doing, right? Because you can launch out of it differently. So anyway, the next tip is, because of the left stick dribbling, now there's an advantage to not going super fast, which means there's a disadvantage to going super fast, right? So what I think you want to stay away from this year is running in this circle, which used to be really strong in 2K, but you don't glitch out of these animations the way you used to, right? They don't like switch systems like they used to before. So it's not that you should never hold turbo. It's just that you want to be very intentional and surgical about when you do, because if you don't, you'll be stuck. You see how his shoulders, he can't turn, like the way he's running into the circle and sprinting and leaning almost like a motorcycle turning the corner. Now, if I get off of the turbo and I run in that same circle, he's in control and he can square his shoulders up. And this means that if you're moving in this direction and your opponent is playing you in a way that you want to get to a jumper, if you're doing this, you have to go into a shot, right? If you're speeding, if you're turboing, you have to go into like a pre-canned animation. But what's new this year is you don't have to do that. You can take them over and walk them and then stop and just pull up and shoot. And it's really fast. And people are giving that space up because they don't want to get stick dunked, right? And that's an option that's also available. So I'm not saying to never use turbo. I'm saying there are now disadvantages to using turbo because of what we get on the other side. So yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for the early tips for the dribbling system. Learn to use the left stick, number 1. The explosive moves are hidden behind combos, number 2. Number 3, you can aggressive dribble and go-to shot out of your triple threat. And then number 4, if your triple threat, if your aggressive shot is set to none, then it will come out of your aggressive dribble, right? Giving you a different set of options out of that, not necessarily a bad thing. And then last but not least, turbo is an option, but it is not the only option. And mastering your ability to get on and off of the turbo is going to coincide with your ability to pull up and shoot jumpers when your opponent decides they want to stop you from getting to the basket. Now, instead of having to manipulate your character with crazy cancels and all that other stuff, all you got to do is let go of the turbo, feather that stick back at the right way to get the fastest jumper. If you don't do it the right way, you won't get the fastest jump shots. If you do it the right way, they'll snap right into that jumper, and there's no way a defender backing off is going to be able to get to that shot. I think it's a brand new way to score that if you get in on it early, you're going to see the overall effectiveness of cards, I think, is going to go up because all of the jumpers are better, and this is just how the game works. It's not specific SIGs. However, the SIGs we're going to be looking for, these behind the backs, they have not gone anywhere. This is going to be really strong this year when everybody gets these really good dribbles. So we're going to keep an eye on this. 2K Gate kept a lot of the really strong animations. So we have to, see in terms of dribble styles and these behind the backs. But when these get released and it's something that is on a lot of cards, we're going to see a big leap in power for the cards. So for now, as we evaluate these cards, we're going to be looking for these aggressive dribbles, these go-to shots, and these behind the backs, these explosive crossovers, and seeing which cards have the juice and the talent for a lot of this stuff, because there's a lot to learn about this game. And that's going to be it for me. 5 tips for the dribbling mode to get us started. We're beginning our journey into this new dribbling system, treating it like a whole new game, taking nothing for granted, having an open mind across the board, and just be totally in learning mode so that we can have the most fun with the game and have a lot of success. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.